All right, so we are back with creating the character data working in the MLS. So one reason why I said keep the underscore is so you can just easily copy and on any asset that you're trying to recreate, you can just MLS and underscore. And this is something that I am applying to a new MLS so I can start creating on that MLS. As you've seen in the last tutorial, I am starting up on something that I've worked on previously, but I would like to start recreating. So to begin, if you haven't, to go back and watch the first tutorial, and I'll teach you how to properly copy a MLS over and where you can edit that MLS. And it goes in a different couple regimens, effect, color, data type, common assets, battle, always aura. So you can kind of get a little glimpse of what's going on once you get caught up with what's going on in the last tutorial. But and this one is a little bit more advanced, but so um, basically, let's just start this off by bringing this over here so you can see what I have going on. So 0450, I have 0450 as the tag, so Android 17Z. That's the ID that I'm using, and I'm running with 4 uh, character data. So its character data is basically surrounded around Android 17. Okay, so let's go into the MLS, and what I want to do is for special move one. I do believe that is a shot um to view your scene. You can just simply click on your level sequence, which would be a montage sequence. It sometimes could take a minute, so just wait for it to load up. Once it does load up, it should look something like this. And if it does look like that, you could just drag it down. And once you drag that down, uh, you can keep your sequencer open, but to move around in your scene, um, you would left click on the floor. You don't have to, but I always do. And right click, and to move around, to move forward, W, to move backward, S, to move left, A, and to move right, D. To move down, Q, to move up, E. So that's basically how you move around your scene and how you get to maneuver around and see what's going on. But once you open your montage sequence, you won't see anything in your scene. Not yet, but you don't want to edit off of this one because this is not a copy yet. We'll make a copy of this, but you can scroll on your sequence and really see what's going on in the sequence once you start to scroll around. So we see as a tech end is looking like, hmm. So his special move one is a double-handed tech, and we can see that because he has two elements, and these elements can be changed. Okay, so to do that, we can leave out of the sequence, and we can actually go back and to exit out of the sequence. You exit out of it, and this is the SD. If you would like to make a seamless attack, you can just delete your SD, but sorry about that. But if you would like to delete your seamless attack, then you could just delete it. But in this instance, we're gonna recreate it and we're gonna put a new effect on there. So to do so, you would copy it as always, and after you have your SD, you can go ahead and find out where the MLS is and go ahead and copy that. Let's just make sure I have a copy. Yeah. Yeah. Always proof check. So I made sure that I'm inside of my MLS and as inside the MLS special move one, and I'm proof checking to make sure that I'm appropriately adding everything accordingly. MLS, MS, SD, SBM1 underscore. And still keep the underscore, and you'll understand why in a second. So you can go back and apply your new SD, special move 1 SD for that mess. And then we can go here, copy this, oops, as well. Do not advance copy because you will crash. It will crash your system. Uh, that's actually, I'm gonna take out the MS because believe it or not, that would be more so. Uh, this would be the MS, but that would be the file name for it. And I'm gonna say MS. So that would be a special move 1 MS, and that's his new montage sequence. And we can go into the montage. Okay, so for now we can save it like that, but during this process you'll have to save it a complete different way. So because we already added the montage sequence here, we can really start editing inside of our sequence. And as you see, if you scroll around, it'll look a little different for now. Might look a little different just because it's not bonded to the same character, which it's just recreating, and you'll have to rebond everything to your specific character, which in this instance is Poi Poi. But to start editing in your sequence, you would have to have your MS, and inside of your MS, you would look for the LSG 0450X Special Move 1SD. Everything else is really much pertaining to different stuff, but right now you're messing with the LSG because this controls all the effects and stuff. So first things first, you want to click on the actions over here where the tool icon is, and you want to save it as. And first things first, the LSG name, you'll see that, but just search up for what your project folder name is, which mine is Beyond Super. Beyond Super. So we have Poi Poi right here, but I will 9 times out of 10 just be going into the main base folder of Beyond Super because this is where everything is. So as you see where the MS is, you can just click on that and then underscore LSG. And you really don't need no more underscores after that. Okay. So as you see, you have changed that MLS LSG to your specific LSG, which you'll still have the same attack, but you'll just have to do a little bit of editing here. So before you actually start editing, first things first, go back to where your montage sequence is and re-click it and re-go into it. If you notice, your LSG has not been applied yet. It's kind of crazy, but it's not really that hard. So you just, to apply your new LSG, you click on that LSG and you want to go to properties. First, you right click, go up to properties, and with your LSG selected, you put your LSG in, and that is how you will apply your new LSG. And then you can go into your LSG and edit. But first things first that I do, I will save my new MS um with my new LSG just for safe keeps because you just never know. Okay. So now you leave out of that. If you go into your special move 1 and then you go into your montage sequence, you still have your new applied special move 1. Right? That's how you apply a new LSG for your attack. Now, one helpful thing that I like to do is first know what kind of attack that I'm trying to recreate or an attack that I'm trying to create and what I might want to base it off of, and something that may be similar to something that's canon to the series and something that's actually uh more official. So with me already having the knowledge of what I've already want to do, um, I would kind of look for something that could match the color effect of my attack, which in my instance, Vegeta GT Super Saiyan 4. How could he help with the attack? I'll show you. So first things first, you can Control C and copy the whatever you may try to recreate, and we can leave out of that. Um, and I would search up that character's data, and I would bring that into my content, copy it, and this is I'm gonna say, oh no, I don't want to go into it, not yet, but this would be poi poi reference super SS4, just so I can easily get back to that, and I will actually know that that is an outsider from all my files. So little easy reminder for me. You don't have to rename it, but you could just drag it over and do as you please. So what I'm actually doing here is looking for the effect of what I want. And the effect that I'm trying to steal from is the final shine attack. So I know that that's his ultimate, so I would search ult. And if I go into his SD and go into his montage sequence, we can actually go and see that attack. So that is his load up for his final shine attack, and that is what I want to be for the specific particles of my attack. So this is where the details part comes in at. Um, and this is where the sidelines come in at. You'll actually be using an outliner as well and the place actors, but for right now, we'll be sticking with the details. If you don't have these windows, then what you can do is go to your outliner, add an outliner, and if you don't have a place actor, you can place an actor and also a details folder. You can just add a details one as well. So with that being said, uh, you can really click on the specific attack, and then in the details, you just bring that over a little bit more. It'll help. Cool. Okay. So in the details, you'll look at the particle. And if you scroll down, you can see all different types of stuff. And you'll be thinking, hey, I'll just take from this. It really won't work like that. It can, but then you just got to do a lot more. And to do a lot more, you just don't want to do it. So search up the particle. After you searched up your particle, I see that that's the particle that I want to use. It's the third particle from the left. So with that done, I can leave out of this, leave out of this, and now I'm back in my reference folder, which if I don't want to be in a reference, just leave out of that. And I can just see that I'm back in my character data asset, which where's my uh, MLS, and this is where my MLS is at. So if I scroll, I can see my attack all over again. But what I want to do is change that effect. So I'm going to go into my LSG, okay? After you're in your LSG, you can click on first attack. And what I do is, oops, not paste it. I was about to do that. Click on it because you know this is the attack particle. Apply it and click on your second one. And as the same way, apply it. So applying it, you will see that your attack has disappeared, but not truly. If you scroll back through your attack, it's now changed to a whole different attack. And now, if I would like to change that attack, which this particle as well, just click on it and it'll go to where that particle is located. And then you could do the same thing for that one and then do the same thing right there. So when you scroll, everything will be as the original one was, and you're just recreating. Okay, so there's a couple more steps to get that applied to your character, and to do that, we will do that in just a second. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. So if you would like to get that onto your character, we have to do a few things inside of our sequence. So before we do anything, let's just save our LSG as is. So LSG, save, and go back to the MS and save the MS as well. You don't have to save the MS, but me and my safe keep, I'm gonna save the MS, and then after the MS, uh, that's actually a good thing that I left out of there because I needed to. So first things first that I would do is click on the floor and let's go back to the content browser. We can leave out of the particles because don't need the particles too much anymore. We can dock the content browser inside the layout just so we can have that inside of our layout and don't have to worry too much about going back and forth up there anymore. So now that we have that, one thing that I do is drag my character into the scene. Boom. With your character in the scene, you don't have to actually keep your content browser open anymore. Scroll up. Still have not popped up, but over here in the outliner, your character is inside of the scenery now. So there are a couple of ways that you can get this reapplied to your character, and what I mean by reapply is to rebond this move specifically to your character. So one way to do it, uh, we're gonna go about it the right. Well, I'm gonna show you the shortcut way first, and if it doesn't work, then I'm gonna actually show you how to build the scene. So on Rebind character, what you can do is right click, assign actor, and just assign it to your actor. And doing so will add that cutscene to your character. But if it doesn't always do that, then you will have to do it this way. So we are going to delete that and we are going to recreate it. So to recreate your scene, you click on your character that's in the scene. And first things first, you want to drag that character over into uh, the sequencer. So after your character is dragged into the sequencer, you add a track and you want to add a mesh, and click on character mesh 0. Doing that, then you would go back into your MLS and go into your animation. Okay. So now that we have our animation, you click on the first animation, look it up inside of the content browser, click on the name, but do not double click on it. Copy it, go back, and where the mesh is, you add a track, animation, and Control Z. Click, and you can use the plus and the minus arrow clicking on your sequencer, and it'll show you. If you don't see your uh, animation, then that is one way you will have to drag it into the scenery. All right. So just try to angle everything up right. I think I have snapping on. If I don't, then too bad for me. But so I try to get back to the perfect alignment of the end of it and go back into the animation. Do the same thing for the second animation that you would like. Copy, go back to our sequencer where the mesh is, animation, and Control Z. I'm at Control V and add that second animation and just make sure, yeah. So sometimes it will as you see, well, hold up. Oh, it didn't. I thought that it glitched out, but sometimes if it's not perfectly set, then your character will do this little zit like jitter. So if he jitters, just edit it to where he doesn't jitter, and then after he doesn't jitter, then you are pretty much set right here. And what you can do is save and save your MS. And yes. So now we have the animation back. And if it doesn't work the other way, this is how you recreate it manually. Okay, so that would more so be like an automatic way. But doing that, now we have a full animation for our character. So now we have gone from the MS. I'm going back into the LSG, find out where that newly created LSG is and going to it. Now that we are in a new LSG, I would just bring everything up just because it's a little bit easier to see what's going on in the sequence and you really don't have to worry about too much. If you have rebind character, make sure you just click on it, highlight it, and delete it just because you don't need it. You really don't need it right now. Okay? So in your place actor section, you want to grab your actor and drag your actor onto the scene. Doing that will pretty much do nothing right now. But what we're gonna do is with the actor track, we're gonna attach it to uh, the sequence that we have, which is the MS, and we're gonna look for our BP char, which mine is Poi Poi BP char. That's just the name of them for your actor. But after doing so, you would do that. Click on skin, and then you want to click on null or type in null. NULL. Doing so will do that to your sequence. And I like to stretch it out just so it's really just all over. Okay. So that hasn't done anything quite yet. And reason being, you have to recreate everything that's being done.